Hello, my name is Jim Mulaney from Sitek Process Solutions. Today is Wednesday, December 16th, 2015. Today I'm doing a video source inspection on 3 each Semitool 870S spin wrench dryers. You can see the first 2 and final test, and you'll see the third machine right there. We're going to be doing these machines in a 2-prong test here. It turns out that the customer purchased 2 each of the A7230M rotors, but we only have 1 cassette. So we'll have 1 installed in this system, and the second rotor you'll see is actually installed in this system, A7230M. So I'll wait. When that one's finished and running, I'll run this one. So I'll run the first 2 winter dryers together, then I'll do the third one by itself. To take a step back now, again, this is for 3 each 870S spin wrench dryers. We don't give our customers names out. This customer is located in Colorado. To go over the configuration of the tools, excuse me. The systems have the Semitool PSC 101 controller. I put in a typical program here. We're doing a 30-second rinse for 500 RPM. We have a 10-second purge for 500 RPM. The purge blows the water out of the water line so it doesn't drip back into the chamber during the dry cycle. We have dry 1, which is the traditional high RPM process from Semitool. That's a short process to spin off and sling off the DI water from the wafers, the substrates, and the rotor. Semitool did lots of studies showing that the least amount of high RPM you can have, the better particle count you always get. Then we have dry 2, which is the elongated dry cycle. We have 240 seconds. That uses the heater blankets and the hot end 2, and then the slower centrifugal force of the rotor spinning to dry off everything totally dry. And you can see it's 500 RPM for 240 seconds. So that's the process I put in all 6 systems. The system configuration was transformers no. Since it's an S model, it uses a brushless motor. These are all 110 systems. They use the LC4 amplifier. That LC4 is a servo amp that's located down at the bottom of the tool that controls the brushless motor. We have the heater blanket on there. We have the over temp and process switch on there. We have new SMC valving, brand new pneumatic valving for the system. We have left door hinge. We have new seals. This uses the Fairfootic labyrinth seal. We have remanufactured ACR valves. We have new windows, new door seals. We have a rotor stop positioner, new filters. We have all the pressure switches in. We have new spray nozzles. This system does not have the anti-static. It does not have the resistivity, but it has the water recirculation option. So I will walk back and look. Yep, back here in the back of the system, the way the water recirculation system is, you have your incoming water into the rinser dryer. It dead legs into the ACR valve, which is actually on this side of the tool. The water comes in here and the ACR bank is here on the inside. What you do is you have a T coming off and the water feeds back out through what's called DI recirculation fitting in the back. And then we have a metering valve on that, and then we have it tied back into the drain box. So what you can do is turn it down to a trickle or leave it full flow, and that allows water to continually bypass through the system to stop bacteria growth. So I can see the I can see all 3 systems, or all 6 systems and all 3 double stacks all have it. This system also had the EMO. As you can see, EMO here. For reference, we have on the back, if you look at the back of the machines, we have the Sitek process serial number tags. It has our information, Sitek Process Solutions, our address, the model 870S. This is model number, or serial number 903. This is serial 904. And the third system is serial number 902. We only use the month. The month of manufacture is 12/2015. We have our website. We also have these new tags that we just actually today came in that we are putting on the back of tools that says this equipment is fully supported by Sitek Process Solutions, 100% spares and service support with our phone number and our email addresses there. Customers can use this now to contact us. We're going to be sending these stickers to customers that we support their tools worldwide. They can put these on their tools, so when their maintenance or facilities group has any questions, they know who to call. So that's the options on the system we just spoke about. The rotors. Let's talk about the rotors. It says we have 2 each A72-30M, which I already showed you. We have 2 each 194-60MB. Let's look at that. This system looks like it's set up for A194-60MB. 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 You notice this one has 5 wafers. Oops. Come on, Jim. Sorry about that. I put it in straight. It's like a little easier for me. There we go. And this cassette only has 1 wafer, only because the spec on these was all these rotors we balanced for 1 to 5 wafers max. And we've tested them all with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are those 2 rotors. And the last rotor is an A7240MB. And that one, this is the customer's right here. A7240MB. Actually, I'm going to go and take a couple of these wafers out because we have more than 5 on this test, so there's no reason to have that. It's not part of the spec. So I'll pull those out. And I've got 5 now. Okay. Here is the 3-inch, which I already spoke about. 5 wafers in there. And then for reference, I'll just show you now, then I'll move back to it. On this system, this is the customer's other 3-inch rotor. We also installed another A7240MB rotor down here just for testing. This is not the customer's rotor, it's just for testing. That way we don't have to move 2 rotors for another rotor in this video. Okay, so let's get back here. Alright, what I'll go ahead and do is I'll go and start the process, and during this process I'll talk more about Sitek Process Solutions. Okay, so a normal fab. Just for reference, I'll show you this. EMO off. EMO off, it works correctly. Turn back, unlock it. The EMO reset is in the back. System power back on. And system power back on. We should have had the controllers come back on now. On and on. There we go. What I'll do now too, the EMO has a back EMO. This has a front and back EMO mushroom. So I'll go in EMO. Should have EMO'd everything off. And it does. Controllers are dead. Controllers are dead. And I will EMO power back on. Power back on. And RAM okay. Whenever the systems are powered off, the controllers, they on the reboot, they do a parity check where they look at the stored software versus the known good software. It's called a parity check. And if it has an issue, it'll come back with a parity issue. If not, it goes through the cycle and it's good. As you can see, we're good here, and we're good here. On the third machine, what I'll do is I'll do the same testing prior to me starting the tool. So, on a normal fab, you just take your cassette, you slide it in the rinse and dryer, and hit start. Same thing down here, stick it in, hit start. Alright. I get in the habit of always hitting stop. That's a reset if people don't know. I do so many demos, I get used on decimals just to push the stop button. Alrighty, so now the systems are running. We already did the rinse. We do a shorter rinse than some wafer fabs. Some wafer fabs do a longer rinse, 60, 70 seconds. We do a smaller one just because we do a lot of cycling through here. As you can see, we're now in the high RPM spin. High RPM spin. Actually, all 4 are in high RPM spin right now. Oh, the bottom one here is just going into high RPM spin. Okay, now we're in the slower 500 RPM. Plus or minus 4 RPM is the standard on one of these controllers. They kind of fluctuate between 2 and 4 RPM. That's standard for 101. Sorry for my scratchy throat here. I just got back from a trip to Europe doing an equipment install for a couple of rinser dryers in Finland, and I picked up a little cold on the way. One thing the Sitek Process Solution does offer is worldwide support. Again, I just talked about being in Finland. I went over with one of our service techs, and we installed 2 Semitool double stacks and qualified them for the customer in their facility. Okay, so while we're running here, I'll talk about these systems. Our systems have gone through a complete remanufacture. The systems are broken down to the parts level. All the metal parts are chemically cleaned or sent out to be reprocessed and electropolished. We rebuild the motors, and actually in a brushless motor, we change out the bearings. You don't have to rebuild the motor because there's no brushes. We rebuild all the ACR valves, replace them. We put in new door seals in this case, new windows. We send the bowl out, get it reprocessed and re-electropolished. We start the build-up process. We build the systems. You can't tell here, but the head assembly itself, if you took all the poly off, it's just a head assembly, like a little wash machine. We can build it in dry test. Once it's built in dry test, another technician does a complete quality control against it. If it passes 100% quality control, it moves into a wet test. If it doesn't, it gets repaired and rechecked again. Once we go into wet test, we do the same thing. We check for any leaks, we get it facilitized, it gets burned in, a technician checks it out. Once it passes and it's cycled, it goes into our quality control manager who does his evaluation of it. Once he passes it, we start loading them into the systems. In this case, top and bottom, we load the controllers in, we load all the wiring in, we put the amps in and so forth, and then we start debugging it in the system here. We look for any leaks, any air leaks, any water leaks, and so forth. So we go through a 100% complete remanufacturing process. We are the leader in the United States. We're the #1 manufacturer of refurbished Semitool rinser dryers in the United States. Our system has remanufactured over 1,000 systems, so we are the experts. We also, as I talk about these stickers on the back here, we offer 100% spare parts and service support on the Semitool spin rinse dryers. All these parts, door seals, windows, rotors, bowls, ACR valves, heater blankets, etc. We offer complete replacements. Depending on, we also do customers repairs. Customers quite often, and in fact every week, send us systems for remanufacturing, for repairs. They send us rotors to be rebalanced. They send us motors that have bound up. There are 30,000 Semitools worldwide, and they've been in the field for a lot, 20, 30, 40 years, so there's a lot of tools that need remanufacturing done on them. Okay, we're getting ready to finish the process on these 4. We're down to 12 seconds. Once it starts winding down at 70 RPM, the rotor stop positioner, which is called an RSP, it fires out and it hits the cam and rolls on it flat. That will upright the rotor, we call the home position at 12 o'clock. About 10 seconds after that, 7 to 10 seconds, I'll hear the door release, I'll be able to open it. Alright, there we go, the rotor stop position is uprighting now. You'll see the bottom one the same. Okay, I heard the door release. I just heard the door release. Sorry, I heard that was released. Okay, so over here, home position, 12 o'clock, home position, 12 o'clock, door release, and door release. I like to always do is after running a test, I feel in for hot end 2, right up here. You can coming out at 1 o'clock. It is nice and good, nice and warm, perfect. Same thing with the system, hot end 2. Yep. Alrighty, looks good. Yep, hot end 2. Yep, feel the heat. And nice and dry and warm. The Semitool, traditionally, the electropolished bowls do not get completely dried out, especially with the smaller substrates. You'll see water droplets, but that's standard. Semitool did studies also. If you got the bowl bone dry, when I worked at Semitool and I worked at the Calcible lab and had many visits with customers there and qualified machines, that if you dried the bowl out totally, if you did have any particulates, they would become airborne, then possibly trap on the wafer. So the nice thing about having some water droplets is any particulates might stick with the water droplets and get washed down the drain. Okay, so these two systems you can see passed. We've actually ran these systems probably 150 times now. Our normal qualification is 50 process runs after manufacturer releases the sales. If we have an error for any reason during that 50, it's fixed and we start the count over again. I will now then go to the third system. Let me kind of make this a little bit nicer here. Alrighty, there we go. Same thing, let me just kind of go down here. Let's start off. EMO, boom, that works. Let's reset it. Oh, helps take it off. Open the EMO, then reset it. Glad I didn't reset. RAM okay, parity parameters okay. When I talk about parity check, that's the parameter check. Okay, I'm going to hit the EMO back here now. I assume it turned off, but it sounds like it. Yep. Turn it back on. Open the mushroom. Power back on. And RAM okay, parameters okay, idle. Again, I already told you about the options. We have them here. The water recirculation's on. We have our stickers about Sitek Process Solutions on the back here. Those are good. And we have our serial number. So, just like the other two machines, I have to switch cassettes. Alrighty. Here's the customer's 3-inch cassette, and here's the second 3-inch rotor. And hit restart. The bottom one, hit start. As we are going through, now we're in the as we talked about the high RPM, 1800. I talked about our remanufacturing process. I talked about our spare parts. Let's also talk about our company a little bit more. Sitek Process Solutions specializes in front-end wafer fab equipment. We are the #1 remanufacturer of Semitool spinner and dryers in the United States, and we believe worldwide now. We have 100% spare parts. We work on all versions. This has to be the S models and SAM. We also work on the older ST units, and actually we probably sell just as many as those. And we also work on the F model as a Frank. And again, we have spare parts in all the models. We do other tools in the fab. We do a lot of metrology tools. We do 10-core and KLA particle counters. We do profilometers. That would be a deck tack and a 10-core. We do lipsometers, the Rudolph, the Gertner, and so forth. We do a lot of microscopes, high and low power microscopes. We have a full line on our website. We do quite a lot of box washers. Actually, I'll show you the back of it right there. That's an Integris HTC box washer we're refurbishing. We do about 6 a year now. We actually are the #1 company in the United States doing those box washers. We do quite a lot of those now. Those are for cassettes and washing boxes. The reason that's outside of our final test area is we had to put a special 100 amp service in it at a spot to be able to run those systems at our facility. We do a lot of etch equipment. We do Branson etchers, matrix etchers, and so forth. If you go to our website at www.sitekprocess.com, on the left-hand side you'll see buttons for subcategories of the rinser dryers, metrology, etch, microscopes, etc. You can click on that subcategory button. It'll take you to the pages of the different tools where we have pictures and specifications on there. So about a minute and a half go on the dry cycle. Interesting how the small wafer, even though they're both running at 500 RPM, looks like it's running faster than the bigger wafer just because of the way it spins. This looks nice. Another minute and a half, and we'll be able to check the last two cassettes and finalize on the video. Okay. Look how fast that upright is. Alrighty. Nice and warm. Actually, I have to be careful, burn myself. It's kind of hot. Looks good. Nice and warm. Yep. And this is our rotor, so it doesn't matter. That's why it's a full cassette. Looks good. Come on, Jim. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, so that will conclude my video source inspection of 3 each Semitool 870S spin rinse dryers. My name is Jim Mullaney from Sitek Process Solutions. Again, with a quick view of the 3, there's 2 right there, and there's number 3, or 1, 2, and 3, depending on how you count. These systems will be taken off the wall. They'll be all blown out to dry out all the components. We'll then begin the packaging tomorrow and get these things sent to the customer. Sitek is responsible for the packaging and the freight, so we'll be working on it immediately. If there's any questions on this video, you can call us at 916-797-9000 and ask for anyone in the sales organization. Or you can email sales@sitekprocess.com and someone will be able to get back to you. Thank you and have a great day.